Breaking news. Inside the National Prosecuting Authority, a storm is brewing. South Africa's top prosecutor, Shamila Batohi, has dropped explosive testimony that has shaken Parliament and could change the course of justice in the country forever. In a high-stakes appearance before the Parliamentary Justice Committee, Batohi revealed that criminal cartels have infiltrated the NPA itself. Yes, the very institution meant to uphold justice is, according to intelligence reports, under internal attack. Her words were bold, her tone measured, but the implications, absolutely staggering. Batohi warned that the National Prosecuting Authority is being targeted from within by criminal elements seeking to weaken prosecutions and derail corruption cases. Her testimony, she said, was not based on rumors, but on formal intelligence briefings from trusted security agencies. According to Batohi, at least 5 cartel-linked figures are believed to be operating inside the NPA. These findings came through official channels, including reports from National Commissioner Fanny Masemola and Crime Intelligence Head General Dwasani Khumalo. At the heart of her statement lies a chilling claim that a specific prosecutor is allegedly entangled in organized criminal activities. The matter, she confirmed, has been handed over to the Hawks and also referred to the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, or IDAC, for deeper scrutiny. However, Batohi cautioned against publicly naming suspects before the investigations are complete, stressing that unverified exposure could destroy reputations and compromise justice. But Parliament wasn't satisfied. Members across the political spectrum, from the EFF Action SA and even the ANC, pressed for transparency. EFF leader Julius Malema argued that South Africans have the right to know who is compromising their justice system. He accused Batohi of shielding wrongdoers, saying that secrecy only protects corruption. Action SA's Darren Bergman and ANC Representative Kola Angela agreed, warning that without concrete names, the committee's work could end up being a superficial exercise. One EFF member even suggested a closed parliamentary session to handle sensitive details confidentially, reminding the committee that it had previously dealt with classified intelligence without leaks. Despite mounting pressure, Batohi stood firm. She told the committee that as National Director of Public Prosecutions, her duty is to protect both justice and fairness. She reminded MPs that the NPA's policy is clear. Names are only revealed once someone appears in court. She also recalled a recent chilling incident. IDAC's chief investigator, Matthew Sishoka, was kidnapped and robbed shortly after his name was mentioned in Parliament. While she couldn't confirm a direct link, Batohi warned that premature exposure of sensitive information could endanger lives and derail investigations. Her message was clear: the fight against corruption is dangerous, and those who expose the truth often face real threats. Batohi went on to describe a wider problem, not just within the NPA, but across global law enforcement agencies. She said institutions dedicated to justice are being systematically undermined, and South Africa is no exception. The NPA, she explained, has faced direct attacks aimed at discrediting its leaders, weakening its prosecutions, and fracturing public trust. She revealed that even she has been personally targeted, part of a larger campaign to erode accountability and break confidence in the system. But despite the chaos, Batohi sees opportunity. She called this moment, sparked by Police Commissioner Nlamla Mkhwanatsi's allegations, a turning point. An opportunity to strengthen South Africa's justice system through deep institutional reform. She urged Parliament not to let this moment slip away, but to act decisively to rebuild the integrity of law enforcement and prosecution. Her testimony, she said, was not about politics, but about protecting the rule of law for every South African citizen.
I confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and Correctional Services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel, as well as business people in that province of Gauteng.
I must indicate, Commissioner, that this briefing which I made on the 6th of July, it is a product of the collective and collaborative efforts of various units within the South African Police Service. The majority of men and women in blue in this service who were responsible for, together with myself, in compiling this document. It is therefore a reflection of the common concerns that we share as colleagues in different ranks within the service, which made us to have a common desire for these problems to be resolved, and in order to enable these members of the service to be able to serve with honor and dignity.
You make what I consider to be an important point at paragraph 11 that I think you should share with the Commission, which would seem to speak to a risk in the absence of positive action. What is that risk? What is the fear and what is the risk?
Commissioner, on this paragraph level, it has been my aim that I want to demonstrate that the criminal justice system has been subject to a continuous threat, as well as sabotage, which has been with us over an extended period, to a point where we believe it is at real risk of a total collapse if nothing is done. Therefore, an urgent and effective interventions are required in order to avert this outcome. And I believe this commission will stand to play a very important role in order to help us to prevent this total collapse of the justice system in our country.
One major focus of Shamila Batohi's testimony is the Political Killings Task Team, a group that includes prosecutors and investigators. This task team has been central to many of the allegations now under scrutiny. Batohi told Parliament that she received a detailed report from the KwaZulu-Natal Director of Public Prosecutions. The report listed several cases that were never pursued during the time of former Police Minister Becky Seal. It explained the reasons why some of those cases were not enrolled in court, and it exposed possible weaknesses in how the task team was operating. Batohi said she could not call the task team a total failure or a complete success. However, she noted that no major red flags had been confirmed so far. Still, this information added a new layer to the story, a suggestion that some prosecutorial decisions might have been influenced by outside pressure or interference. The inquiry also turned attention to the suspension of Western Cape Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Andrew Chalk. His suspension raised concerns about internal compromise within the NPA and deepened Parliament's investigation into possible cartel influence. Some members of the committee grew impatient. MK Party Representative Sibonelo Nambolo accused Batohi of not cooperating fully. He said that, as the National Director of Public Prosecutions, she had a duty to help expose the full truth. Committee Chair Lekale Lini agreed, warning that avoiding direct questions could slow progress and weaken accountability. Batohi responded that she would continue her evidence in a later session. She plans to focus on how the task team operates and what these infiltrations mean for South Africa's justice system. Her testimony paints a troubling picture, a justice system fighting betrayal from within. Intelligence reports suggest that 5 cartel-linked figures are working inside the NPA. These individuals are believed to have ties to organized criminal networks, posing a direct threat to fair prosecutions. The information from Masemola and Khumalo, combined with Batohi's own reports to the Hawks and the IDAC, shows that there is a real effort to fight back. But the debate between caution and urgency continues to divide Parliament. This saga shows just how fragile the balance is between protecting rights and exposing corruption. Batohi's careful, evidence-driven approach may frustrate some, but it underscores a simple truth, that justice in South Africa must be built on proof, not speculation. And as the hearings move forward, one thing is clear: the fight for justice is far from over. The threats remain real. The danger is growing. But so too does the determination to uncover the truth and to defend the rule of law.
I just wanted to make a seeking clarity question, because the Advocate Batohi is saying he can't reveal the name here. But if it's the same person who was mentioned in the media, why not revealing it here? Because in the media, if as members here of the committee, and the South African, some people knows exactly what we are talking about, who's that person we are talking about, why are we hiding it here? Thank you, Chair.
Advocate.
Chair, I will not want to hide anything from this committee. I regard it as a very important committee. But I do want to be responsible at the same time. I'm not sure who the person is that the honourable member is referring to. But even if the name is given to me now, I'm not going to make a comment about whether it is or isn't. It's not fair on the process. It's not fair on the person concerned. And this might turn out not to be true. We may not be able to verify this information. And then it destroys people's reputations and lives. And I think it will be hugely irresponsible for me at this stage, with just the bit of information that I have referred, to mention names in this House. So I'd please ask the House to be understanding and not to insist that because I will not reveal the name, Chair, with all due respect.
No, thanks, Chair. I thought she was suggesting we must just go home if she's going to proceed like that. Because we deal with names here. What are we dealing with? What are we dealing with here? We want to know who captured the criminal justice system. And if we can't be told names and we accept that, let's go home. Especially names that are out there. There is a prosecutor, I'm just forgetting the name of, is it Johannesburg or something, Pretoria, who's suspended by the president? Joburg, Chauke. What's difficult saying something like that? What's difficult saying something like that? If we're referring to Chauke, or if there is more, we need to know. There is nothing unprofessional about that, because if we're going to proceed like that, we're becoming toothless. We cannot allow a situation where there is an allegation of a prosecutor who is being captured or infiltrated, and we are told we can't be given a name. If it was wrongly mentioned, there are recourse in South Africa where that name will be cleared. There are so many names of people being said here, people who are also in jail, people who are already on criminal trials. We get deep into those issues because we're seeking to unearth the truth. If it is true, indeed, there are people who are captured in the prosecuting authority. We want to know that. What if Chauke is wrongly accused? What if he's correctly accused? We need to come to a determination that, look, there is nothing in the NPA that suggests there is any infiltration by the drug cartel or anything of that sort. Or there is, and if we say there is, these are the issues. And these are the individuals responsible for those kind of activities in the NPA. So I don't think Honorable Skosana is being irresponsible in that regard. Thanks. Advocate.
Thank you, Chair. I really want to emphasize, honourable members, that I do not seek to be disrespectful to this committee. I haven't even said, the members have mentioned names. I haven't even said whether it is or isn't that name that has been mentioned. And I will not, I don't want to make it difficult for this House to be able to do its work. But given that I was given, I think at the level of intelligence, because I haven't even said it's evidence, I went back to the National Commissioner as well as General Khumalo and I said, can you please give me evidence of this? Because I need more evidence. And so I really urge that it will be hugely irresponsible of me to mention a name in this House on the basis of intelligence that I've received that may or may not be true. So I really urge honourable members to understand that I do want to help this House, but I do not want to put people's names at risk. For various reasons, you never know how people are put at risk. I mean, And we don't know whether it was a direct consequence of what happened in this house, but you know that our chief investigator of the IDAC was attacked a day or two after his name was mentioned in this house. But one might say, look, he is the chief investigator, it's not difficult, that you shouldn't really draw that conclusion. I will understand that as well. But it does put people at risk, and I do not want to be irresponsible and do that when all I've received is intelligence about the possibility that someone, well, about the fact that somebody is involved with organized criminal networks.
No, thank you very much, Chair. No, Chair, we just want to make a clear statement that if the NDPP continues to refuse to reveal a name, it means she is not cooperating to an investigation. Because here we're not doing oversight. This is not a justice committee being chaired by Honorable Ngola, where you give annual reports. We're doing an investigation, and names have been tabled before this committee. Names of people who have not even been charged. Just names of people who do not appear before any disciplinary committee. So it means you don't have confidence in this committee. Two, you are undermining our intelligence. What adverse impact is it going to have if you tell us that a person is so and so? There will be no adverse impact other than an impact that is imaginary. We are just imagining that there will be an adverse impact if you mention names. How? So we are going to understand you to be refusing to cooperate with this committee if you refuse to give us names. Yeah, we are investigating, so you can't tell us how we should investigate. We can't be told by you. We have terms of reference. We know what we are doing here. So don't undermine our intelligence. Chair, I'm in support of what Honorable Skosana is saying, that the name must be revealed to help our investigation, to pursue our investigation, because that name might be relevant for us to take a certain posture with regards to this investigation. So you are refusing to give more insight about issues which are affecting our justice system if you refuse to give us a name. And we are not just asking from an ordinary person. You are the NDPP with a statutory responsibility to oversee the running of the NPA. And you come here and refuse to give us names as if it's a choice. It's not a choice. We're investigating you. We're investigating the allegations, I mean. And if we say give us names, unless you are telling us that you are refusing, then we're going to note it as such. We're going to write it down that you are not cooperating with this investigation. Thank you.
Honorable Malemo.
Chair, NDPP must know that she's got a duty to protect this country more than individuals. You can't say, I want to protect individual because of their rights and all of that. A rotten NPA, it's very dangerous to our constitutional democracy she speaks about. A rotten NPA is dangerous to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. So you cannot protect an individual over the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Just her failure to respond to this question, she must take a bag and go. She's not going to be useful to us. We are asking names. That's why we are here. We are told there are people who kept people is names. Who are those people? We want names of drug cartels. We want names of corrupt police. We want names of corrupt judges. We want names of corrupt prosecutors. That is the whole idea of us being here. So you call a witness, when she left home, she left saying she's going to do what here? She's coming to read a policy statement in an inquiry. Yeah, we even discuss boardroom. We're discussing pillow talk. Yeah. That's how far we go. Now we're being told, no, just a name. We can't be given a name of a prosecutor who's suspended. I know that there is a prosecutor called Chauke in Gauteng who's put on a special leave or suspended by the President of the Republic of South Africa. It is the President who communicated that publicly. What is so difficult for an NDPP to refer to such a case and say, for instance, we've got this case that is on, but I can't give details. This is what it involves. A lot of people came here and said so. This is a public information. But to come and say, I won't give you names, even on matters that are public, that is having taken a conscious decision that I'm not going to cooperate with them and I'm going to show them that they can't do anything. She's completely undermining us. To put it mildly, she's undermining us, and she left her home having taken a decision to come and undermine us here. What is so secret about telling us about a public prosecutor of a public prosecution? Everything is public there, except when you are dealing with the case. It says, I will give you a name when a person appears in court. The person that we're speaking about, for instance, Chauke, he's not going to go to court. It's an inquiry that is on. The president is investigating a particular conduct, wrongly or rightfully, I don't know. So it means we'll never hear that name Chauke in this committee, because he will never have a first day appearance in a criminal court. What happens? There is an internal, inquiry that the president has constituted. The head of NPA must know about that, must be comfortable to speak about it. And the refusal to speak about such an incident is to say, I'm not going to cooperate with you. Actually, the allegations goes further, which we are going to probe later when it is our turn to ask questions. They say after they arrested advocate Chauke, they are able to register cases easily. That's what SAPS says. And cases are moving smoothly in Gauteng. Is that true? We want to get into those issues, but if the head of NPA is going to shy away from that, then which issue are we going to deal with? Which we need prosecutors who are cooperating with drug cartels.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. Honorable Ngola.
Thank you very much, Chair. We have evidence before us that there are rogue sections within the NPA, which suggests that we must dig deeper to look into the allegation. And part of what has been a modus operandi of this ad hoc chair was that names must be given to the committee so that it is actually assisted in formulating a finding and recommendations. From the evidence of General Mkhwanazi, whom part of it is what he termed as an intelligence information. So we have been able, for example, Chair, General Mkhwanazi stood in front of this ad hoc committee and said, him and General Khumalo went to the Minister of Police to brief him that General Sbiya is a rogue element within SAPS in terms of intelligence information. So I'm trying to display, Chair, that this is not the first time we're dealing with the situation of this matter. And I'm trying to make the NTPP comfortable to mention the name of the person that she's referring to. It is not certainly a finding or a guilty decision if you mention the name. Part of what we've been placed on here, Chair, is that there is an evidence General Mkhwanazi even brought to the committee and later withdrew some parts of that evidence, and it was acceptable. So I want Chair, the NTPP to feel comfortable to provide the necessary finer detail of the evidence he's giving before the committee. Thank you very much.
Advocate Honorable Mathis. Sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Just to add on, number one, within our terms of reference, as a committee, I know this is an open, it's an open hearing at the moment, but we do have an option of a closed session. I'm not saying that we need to go there. We cannot have, we are wasting our time if we are not getting names. We're also going to leave, and when we go through our deliberations, we are going to say our National Director of Public Prosecutor gave testimony, but we have no proof. Because this thing of having classified intelligence reports is something that is so old that we've heard. I mean, if we go back, even in the history of Parliament, so many decisions have been made on intelligence or classified intelligence reports that we've never seen, we don't know. So we need to make a decision on if this thing is like that high profile, do we take it into a closed session? But I don't think it is that serious, Advocate. On a very serious note, there are many people that have come, they've been cleared and they've cleared their names, but we are definitely wasting our time if we are going to be protecting individuals who, number one, have already, you've said they've been suspended. That means there has been action that has been taken, and I don't think our citizenry is that stupid or not to be able to put it in context that this is still under investigation and they're currently being suspended. We're also undermining the intelligence both of this committee and South Africans at large. Thank you.
Honorable James.
Thank you, Chair. Advocate, you've just mentioned that you don't trust crime intelligence. Am I right? Earlier on, you've said that you don't trust crime intelligence, and now we are expected as South Africans and as this committee to trust crime intelligence. The purpose of this ad hoc committee is basically for show and tell. We want those names, and I don't think we're going to be okay today with leaving here because everyone else's names, and I don't want to repeat what my colleague has just said. We've mentioned names of all other people that's implicated in this, and the words that were used was allegedly involved. I'm not sure why we can't do the same here today.
Advocate Batohi.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, I want to make a correction. I didn't say I don't trust crime intelligence. I said there were people across the system that we couldn't trust. We don't know who to trust. Actually, not specific people that we don't trust. The way I said it is, I said you don't know who to trust. So just to clarify that. Chair, I hear what the committee members are saying. It has always been the position that when we are investigating, we do not give names of anyone that is the subject of an investigation. From the NPA, we only mention the name of a person in any media report or publicly after the person has appeared in court. That is the only time we do not even mention that people are the subjects of investigation. Names are never mentioned by the NPA generally.
Thanks for watching.